The disappearance of Jason Landry is one of the most bizarre cases to baffle Texas investigators in years. How did this college student vanish on his way home from winter break? Here's the story in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Jason Landry was a 21-year-old student at Texas State University.
Jason's our baby. It doesn't matter how old they are, they're still yours.
He was supposed to head home to family for winter break, but something happened no one can figure out. It was December 13th, 2020. Jason left his apartment at Texas State in San Marcos and was headed to his parents' home in Missouri City. His cell phone records paint a picture of his timeline that night. At 10:55, he's tracked leaving. Around 11:30, he heads onto Highway 80. That's when his phone stopped using the Maps app and switched to Snapchat. His phone then went dark. And then, about an hour later,
his car was found at about 12:30, engine running, lights on.
A state trooper spotted Jason's car, but no sign of him.
But after that, there's no cell phone activity. We don't know, frankly, what happened in the next hour.
Photos show damage to the car and skid marks on the road.
There doesn't seem to be like paint from another car. Now, could another car have been chasing him?
Jason's cell phone, clothes, and backpack were all left 900 feet from the crash. Why and how did he vanish?
Every night when I'm up and not sleeping, I think the same. I try to make it make sense, and it doesn't.
Police have interviewed several witnesses, but 5 months later, they're still struggling to piece that bizarre night together. Jason's family is now offering a $10,000 reward to anyone who has information that helps find him.
He was a great kid, and he wouldn't run away. That's not him. He would not stay away willingly. So until we know something, we're gonna keep hoping and praying.
And earlier, Jeff and I spoke with a reporter who's working on this case. Have a listen. We are joined by reporter Grace White from KHOU in Houston, Texas. Thank you so much for being here and bringing this story to light, Grace. So Jason disappeared last December while driving home to his parents. So first, can you tell us a little bit about Jason and why the story has picked up so much traction? I can't even imagine as a parent.
Jason is 21 years old, a college student who is headed home for Christmas break. I think that's why so many people are invested in this story, because they can relate to it. You know, he was on his way home from Texas State University in San Marcos to the Houston area, and he never made it. And his parents were waiting for him to walk through that door.
So, Grace, are the police following any new leads, and where is the investigation at today?
The investigation's really picked up steam this year. In the last couple of months, they've released cell phone data from Jason's phone, and that's helped them build out a timeline so they know where he was and when, of course, up to the moment of that crash near Luling, that rural town between San Marcos and Houston. And that's really where this case stands, why it's still a mystery, because up until the crash, they know what happened. But after the crash, there's, of course, no sign of Jason.
Right. So speaking of the crash, let's talk about his abandoned car. It's the one major clue that's been left behind. Do you think, Grace, that there's a chance that Jason could have ran off, or is there any speculation of foul play? What do you think?
Investigators said early on they don't suspect foul play, but as this investigation has continued, they've tried to leave all their options open. And you mentioned the car. They've looked very closely at that. And actually in the pictures, we can tell from the back bumper, there's wood chips pressed in there. They think Jason may have hit a tree and ran off the road. But of course, the biggest question, is there anyone else involved? That is still a mystery.
Wow, heartbreaking. We just hope and pray that the family and Jason gets justice, and hopefully this story can end somehow on a good note. To learn more about this story and for updates, visit khou.com. Jason's story is also the subject of a new podcast episode. Just search True Crime Chronicles on your favorite podcast player. Grace, thank you so much. We appreciate you.